Welcome to In Depth with Academia. I'm Richard Price, CEO of Academia.edu, and today I'm diving into a recent paper by P. Bellisan. Let me take a second because this one is quite an intellectual ride. The paper is called Digital Forensic Methodology as a Countermeasure Architecture Against Computer Crime, a systematic examination of evidentiary frameworks, investigative primitives, and adversarial dynamics. Oh! Now, if that title doesn't get your curiosity radar pinging, I don't know what will. So, what exactly are we talking about today? Well, the core question this paper asks is, how can digital forensic methodology be systematically designed as a robust, legally defensible weapon against the full spectrum of computer crime? And why is this important for you? Because the digital world is everywhere. It's in your home, your workplace, your phone. Crime isn't just about stolen wallets anymore. Attacks can be digital, invisible, fast, and global. If we can't trust digital evidence, if we can't reliably reconstruct what happened after a cyber incident, then honestly society has a really tough time holding people accountable or keeping digital spaces safe. So figuring out how to do forensics, right? Kind of a big deal. I want to make it super clear right at the start. I am presenting the paper's findings neutrally, not endorsing any particular position. Academia is about learning and exploring, not handing out verdicts. What we're doing is taking ideas and looking at what P. Bellisan has found so you, the listener, can reflect, argue, agree, or disagree. Cool. Now, the paper kicks off by arguing that most digital forensic investigations rely too much on checklists and quick procedures. But that's not enough. P. Bellisan lays out a vision of digital forensics as a rigorous architecture. Think of it less as a toolkit, more as an entire scaffolding to counteract computer crime, anchored in 3 structural pillars. Let's break those down for you. First, we have evidence ontology and acquisition integrity. Bellisan highlights the challenges of reliably capturing digital evidence without changing it, as even one careless action, like mounting a drive the wrong way, can alter or destroy key artifacts. The authors explain that every click, download, or file edit on your computer leaves a trace, but that these traces can be surprisingly fragile. Securing them involves careful use of write blockers, standardized cryptographic hashing like SHA-256, or for old-school courts, sometimes MD5 too, and procedures to minimize data volatility. Ever heard about someone pulling the plug on a computer to keep evidence? Turns out for digital forensics, that can actually be a massive mistake. Second, there's analytical engine design and artifact reconstruction. Here's where examiners make sense of storage drives, reconstructing activity even from deleted files or corrupted data. P. Bellisan describes how tools can carve out traces of erased files, pass through unallocated disk space, or reconstruct fragmented files, often facing significant technical and computational challenges. There's also a whole arms race with anti-forensics, tools or tricks meant to hide or destroy traces, or even plant false evidence. Wild stuff, right? Third pillar, adversarial forensics and anti-forensic countermeasures. This is where it gets a little game theory flavored. For every step investigators take, adversaries push back. They manipulate timestamps, erase data with military-grade techniques, route activity through anonymizing networks, sometimes intentionally planting false data to confuse investigations. Bellisan points out one example I found fascinating. Hackers can mess with timestamps in NTFS, but Windows keeps a hidden backup of them in a spot many forget. Sometimes security is about knowing where to look for the backup of the backup, if you get my drift. Now, what does this mean for you as a listener? Well, whether you work in IT security, are just a fan of digital mysteries, or maybe you're just trying to keep your data private, it's a reminder that the digital world is never quite as black and white as it seems. Investigations aren't about certainty. They're about probabilities, informed guesses, and following procedures as perfectly as possible. The human side matters too. Analysts can be biased, chains of custody can break down, and sometimes, even with the best tools, answers remain out of reach. By the way, speaking of digital evidence, why do all my USB drives seem to vanish when I really need one? Does someone somewhere have a pile of all the world's missing USB drives? Sorry, that's probably just me, but You see what I mean about the quirks of evidence even in our daily lives. Circling back, what Bellisan wants us to take away is this. Digital forensics needs to evolve and keep up with changing technology, smarter criminals, and global jurisdictional puzzles. There are new threats, like quantum computing possibly cracking today's cryptography, and new worries, like AI making decisions in forensics that even experts can't always explain. The legal, technical, and ethical implications of this are, honestly, still being figured out. The bottom line. Digital forensic methodology is a living, growing system. It isn't perfect or final. It's open to revision and must be questioned, tested, improved by lawyers, engineers, and regular people like you. The digital world moves fast. If we want security and justice, our methods have to keep up. You can trust the process, but question it too. If you found today's episode thought-provoking, remember, this is just one paper, one slice of the scientific dialogue. Go dig further, stay curious, stay critical. Thanks for listening to In Depth with Academia. See you next time for more journeys into research that shapes our future.